And you're back right here on Open Studio, DSTV channel 260 with myself, Brad Rowan. And today we're chatting all about CPR and of course CPR Awareness Week and how essential it is for each one of us to actually know how to perform a CPR. We're still chatting in studio with Kathy, who's giving us all the ins and outs with regards to CPR. Kathy, now before the break, we spoke about the challenges, right? So now I want to speak about the highlights that you guys as an organization has achieved thus far. Would you mind sharing some of the highlights with us?
I think the highlights are when we hear stories of successes where people have done CPR and the patient is alive again. And sometimes it's because they've been in class and done some training. And literally very soon afterwards they end up doing CPR. But let me tell you, there are also people out there in South Africa who have done CPR without any training. They've just looked at pictures, they've just seen it on TV, and they picked up enough to know what to do, and they've saved lives. So that's very exciting. A couple of years ago, there was a little boy at 8 years old in Johannesburg who came home from school, and they discovered his little brother was floating in the pool face down, 2-year-old. And he got in the pool, took his brother out, put him on the ground, and started doing CPR. And his little brother is alive and well with no problems because his brother, his older 8-year-old brother, knew what to do. So you're never too young to learn. And that child had never been in a course, but he looked at first aid textbook. He actually looked at a Red Cross first aid textbook for many times, and he'd seen the pictures, and just from the pictures he knew what to do. So the folks who are watching today, if they could just watch carefully what we do here, they could learn enough to actually give their own loved ones a chance of being alive again.
Yeah, and also coming back to the training that you guys offer to our viewers at home who's watching today's show, you did speak earlier about training. Can you please tell us more about the training actually? For how long is it running again?
Just a very basic CPR course for the morning. It'll be 3-4 hours. And in that time, in a small group of say 6 or 9 people, you have a mannequin which you share with 2 or 3 people. And it's lots and lots of practical. So you really are hands-on doing it and doing it and doing it. And you would run on adult CPR, child and a baby, so that you can feel comfortable with those changes, because it's a bit different from the adult to the baby.
Oh, so it's different mannequins.
Different mannequins and slightly different techniques. So on the adult, I'm going to use 2 hands, and I'm going to use all my body weight to get a good chest compression. Okay. And on a baby, I'm going to use 2 fingers to do a chest compression. So it's very different.
Oh, so on a baby, you don't use hands, you use your fingers.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Kathy, are you ready?
I'm ready, yes, absolutely.
Are you guys ready? Okay, so Kathy, we're in a situation right now, right? Someone is here.
This is Brad. Brad's collapsed.
Okay,
all right.
Brad collapsed.
Yeah, so I'm going to first, before I get too close to the patient, check for my hazards. Is there anything dangerous around me? Because I don't want to walk into the freeway and get killed. I'd rather make sure that I'm safe. If it's safe, I can approach the patient and I'm going to go, hello, 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 can you hear me? And if they aren't responsive, I'm going to start screaming for help.
Okay.
And while somebody's coming, I'm going to check, can I see any breathing? Is there any chest movement? If they're not breathing, I'm going to say quickly, phone the ambulance service, phone 10177,
okay.
Tell them where we are and tell them that we're doing CPR. Just like that. So
okay.
You run and phone. I'm going to expose the chest, and then your hand needs to go in the center of the chest on the lower half of the breastbone. So you put 2 hands together.
Kathy, before we continue with that, is it important, do you have to remove the T-shirt or the clothing that the person is actually wearing?
Quickly, if you can quickly, because it's nice to see the landmark, so you have your hand in the right place. If your hand is too high or not in the center, you're not going to be doing effective compressions. So effective compressions means your hands need to be in the right place. It's difficult to do that through layers of clothes.
Yeah.
So your hand on the lower half of the sternum, on the center of the chest, the lower half of the breastbone.
Okay.
Put your 2 hands together.
Okay.
And then you come right up over the patient so that you're going to use your arms locked. You're going to use your body weight. So we're going to give 30 compressions at a rate of about 100 a minute, 100 to 120. So you know that song, Staying Alive?
Yeah.
You can sing that for me. I'll do the compression. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we do 30 compressions.
Okay.
And if you know how to breathe, and you can, and you've got some kind of device that you can put in your mouth, between your mouth and the patient, so that if they're carrying a disease, you don't get that saliva in your mouth, then you don't have to do breaths. You can just carry on and do 30 and 30 and 30 and 30 and keep going until help arrives. So in the meantime, I'm pushing the blood around the body, and I'm giving the body and the brain some oxygen, which keeps the brain viable.
Okay, so it also doesn't mean because you're doing the CPR, the 30 push-ups, whatever, like whole time, that the patient's actually going to react. Do they?
If he does, if the patient woke up and says, yeah, Mark Me's here, that would be wonderful news.
Yeah.
But obviously, if they may not, you may need to carry on doing this for 10, 20 minutes, which is very tiring. So the best thing would be for if you made the phone call and came back and you've been watching me do this for a while, is for when I stop, for you to take over. So they recommend every 2 minutes for you to rotate with someone if possible, because 2 minutes of CPR is hard work.
Yeah.
So can I give you the mannequin? Do you want to have a
Yes,
try?
please. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Can they see you? All right. So
Brad
so
is
if we-
ready.
Right from the beginning, you'd go,
Okay.
is it safe? Are there no hazards? And then go, hello, sir.
Hello?
Wake up.
Hello.
And
Wake
if he
up.
doesn't respond, tell me,
Hello.
help.
Okay, so I'll take it off right now.
You can.
Okay.
So you want to scan, is the patient breathing? Can you see any movement?
Okay, it's
Just
no movement, clearly not.
All right, so I'll go and phone for the ambulance. I'll dial 10177 and tell
Okay.
them where we are. You're going to put your hands there on the lower half of the sternum. Let's move it over a little bit.
Just here.
And this one on top, you can lock your fingers like that. And now you can
So,
straighten your elbows, bring your shoulders right over, so you're like 90 degrees. And now
Okay.
you push down, and I'll count with you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
wow.
Not difficult, but quite hard work. Eh?
Yeah, it is, and it's tiring as well.
So we want to push down on this adult about 5 centimeters. It's a long way down. And on a child, you can go about 5 centimeters. On a baby, if you're doing this on a baby, we're only going to be going down about 4 centimeters. So that was good compressions. You want to go down 5 centimeters and come all the way up. So you've got good recoil, so the heart can fill with blood. So you can imagine you emptying the heart and filling the heart, emptying the heart and allowing blood to drain back into the heart. And if you do that often enough, you're creating a pulse for this patient.
Yeah, wow. Kathy, we unfortunately have come to the end of today's show, but to our viewers at home who want to get involved, who want to find out more about CPR, what do they do? Where do they go?
They've got a couple of options. They could come down to the promenade on Saturday morning. They could go to the waterfront, to the NSRI base, or they can, where they'll have a chance to practice on a mannequin, or they can go to the Resuscitation Council's website, www.
All details will be on there.
Yes.
It's www.
resuscitationcouncil.co.za, and then they can see where's their training center close to them, book on a course, get ready, and hopefully never have to do it.
Well, Kathy, thank you very much for coming out and chatting to us and for demonstrating to us. Now I know what to do. I'm clued up now.
You are.
Thank you very much, and we wish you the best of luck and keep doing the good work that you're doing.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Well, there you have it, guys. We came to the end of yet another exciting episode of Open Studio right here on DSTV Channel 260. Remember, if you're part of this and also want to find out more how to do CPR, go onto the website. All the details will be available for you guys right there. Also, send us a mail to openstudio@capetowntv.org or give us a call on the number 021 448 0448. From myself, Brad, Kathy, Brad, and the rest of the team. Until next time, it's goodbye and God bless.